I want to take you to 1 Peter, the 5th chapter. And I want to take you to a passage that contains one of Peter's most famous statements. And we'll get to it as we work our way through the text. Beginning in verse 5, likewise, you younger people submit yourselves to your elders. Yes, all of you be submissive to one another and be clothed with humility, for God resists the proud. Now Peter quotes from Proverbs. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Notice the submission that Peter tells the people to have, not vertically submitted, but horizontally submitted. And I don't want to play too much on that horizontal vertical theme. That was our whole message last week. But I do want to point out that Peter believes in submission to your brothers. The only vertical submission is in age. It's just in respect to your elders, but not into a hierarchy system like a pastor and then the associate pastor and then some sort of board and then an elder and then a deacon and then there's me. And then I answer to this guy and then this guy and this guy. That's not New Covenant. But the submission of the New Covenant is one to another. It's really being submissive to one another in the form of servanthood and love, like Brother Al just talked about. Loving one another to the point of being able to submit to them, not that they boss you around. We get in a bad idea about submission and people bossing me around telling me what to do, but submitting our lives to one another so that we realize we're all on equal footing. We're all on the same level. Legalism or law never puts us all on the same level. Legalism or law rewards those who do better with greater position, with greater responsibility, with greater trust. Even all the way back in the Mosaic economy, the law had a tiered system of submission. Grace knocked all that stuff down. And if I could put it all in a nutshell, here on my next screen, because I'm going to try to give you a definition. It's not really a message about grace, but there's no way to get around the role of grace. To grow in grace is to receive more grace to live by until everything in your life is assisted by grace. So if I were to say to you, what does it mean to grow in grace? And you know that grace is charis or favor, and you might say, well, grow in favor is receive more gifts, have God bless you more. And that's not a bad answer, but I don't think that's what the New Covenant means when it talks about growing in grace, because to grow in grace is the opposite of growing in pride. Remember, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Why does He resist the proud? Because pride is really just the presence of things that we think we can depend on to bring us hope, healing, happiness, victory, peace, rest. It's really religion in its basest form. And so more grace, to grow in grace, is to receive more grace to live by until every area of your life is assisted by the grace of God. Till there's not one area left that is all you. There's only areas that is all grace. Now some might say, well, that's a weak place. If you have to get to the place where every area of your life is assisted by grace, then you're weak. Okay. If that's the best way to define it, then okay, then I'm weak. Then I need God's grace. But that's not the way the Word describes it. The Word actually describes that as humility. True humility is getting to the place where every area of your life needs the grace of God. There's no room left for just you. You have been pressed away in your own dependencies to the point where it's only God's grace. So, sort of using just sort of a visual, the less of me and how much I depend on me, proportionally, God's grace goes to work in my life. What I want to see is less dependency on my own thinking, my own emotions, my own feelings, my own strength, my own skills, my own gifts, my own talents, and more dependency on the grace of God. Then I know I'm growing in grace. So why does God resist the proud but give grace to the humble? Pride's not just nose up in the air, think I'm better than everybody else. That's not only pride. That's the external form of pride. But pride can be in the heart. I've seen people who their head hangs low, oh, woe is me, and they're proud as can be. Because pride can fake it and act humble. In fact, some people that are loaded with pride are great at acting like they're a nobody in front of people, because that feeds their pride to feel like, man, I'm really achieving humility. And that's not humility. But true humility is where all of those areas of our lives, we can't do it. We know we can't do it. We don't even try to do it. We allow the grace of God to develop in us who He wants to be. So God resists the proud means not just haughty and nose stuck up in the air. God resists all of our efforts at doing this and gives grace to those who have no ability to do this. If you want to call that weak, then sign me up. It's called, I'm weak, that's why I need grace. Praise God. And I'm weak, that's why I need grace. Because I know in my own power I can't do this on my own. Now that's Peter's starting point. This is not where he's going. It's just a good way to get you there. The understanding that God's grace must grow and develop in my life every day and in every way. And in doing that, that we are blessed.